Hello everyone, TLSG here, back again with another daily Marvel Snap live stream. And so thank you everyone that jumped in early. Today we were able to get a live stream going. It is a little bit later than we normally would have started. But thank you for everyone that's jumped in. We have Friars, Q, Jeremiah, Ardref, Kappa. Thank you guys for being here. I hope that you guys are having a great day so far. All things considered, mine's not going too badly. I am back at work today, and my daughter's still home with a fever, but she is starting to feel better. She's starting to kind of return back to herself where she's playing. So I left the thumbnail a little bit vague today because I think we're going to kind of switch it up a little bit and play a few different decks. Normally I stick to just one deck, but since we missed yesterday, I would like to run that list a little bit. I'm going to start off with a little bit of the Wong scam, the Wong steal your stuff style deck, because that one is incredibly fun when it works. And then I also built, I doubt he's going to join the stream, at least while it's live, but Pilk Enjoyer actually recommended a Cerebro 3 list that I have failed miserably to run, but I have it built as well, just in case we want to try and run that. And then, yeah, today is the last day of the featured location, so I did want to kind of, I wanted to fit a live stream in while it's here, so that we didn't end up missing it. And then, hey, Alexander, how's it going? Thank you for jumping in. And Kappa, I know that you said that you may not be able to catch the whole thing, but I appreciate you being here. And then Zombie, the peak is the best hot location. Changed my mind. It's probably the most impactful one so far. I don't know if I'd say best. I don't know if I would want this for an extended amount of time. As of right now, it feels okay. But I think if this was like for a prolonged period, it would kind of start feeling stale. And then Friars, no, it's okay. She had a fever, a little bit of a cough, but she's in good spirits. She seems to be kind of on the mend. Her fever has been coming down. She hasn't had to have nearly as much like ibuprofen or Tylenol. We don't have to do it as consistently, and so she is on the up and up, and so everything should be okay. I'm hoping she bounces back by tomorrow. And then Sienna, thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. And so we have Wong. They did morph into our Black Bolt. We have Wong. We're gonna be able to Mystique it, and then we might be able to go for like a cheeky late game Gambit. If we destroy this squirrel, then we can swing the Sanctum Sanctorum. We have a few different options that we can do late game with the Wong Mystique combo. Yeah, and then the Mantis got taken, and so we're not going to be able to steal their deck. But so we'll have to rely on the Gambit Casino. Hopefully it does well for us. I think we go ahead and play our Psylocke. I don't know that extending the game really does us a whole lot of good. So we might as well next turn go with like a Gambit and a Moon Knight. And I think just having the Psylocke on the board helps protect us in case they have a Gambit of their own. And then Haki, I'm doing well. How are you? I hope that you're having a great day so far. And thank you for jumping in and joining us for the live stream. It is a little bit later than we normally do, but I'm glad that you guys were able to jump in and join us. For you, starting Gamma Lab is the funniest hot location. Gamma Lab was pretty unique. It had a lot of I don't know. It was a toss up, because if you played too many of your cards and your resources there early by having like really cheap resources, at that point you kind of shoot the rest of your hand because you don't have that strategic advantage. So there was definitely a trade-off. This one, it's more so forced on you, and so I think this one's like definitely. I think that's why it gets a lot of the either the you love it or you hate it style kind of opinions on it, is because it's kind of forced on you. You don't really have a play around potential. And then Hockey, great day. Oh, it's 3:03 a.m. for you. Oh my gosh, and you're here joining us. Thank you so much for being here. I guess I hope you had a great day, or if this is the start to your day and you're just up early, I hope you have a great day ahead. So we're gonna go with the Gambit Casino. I bet we end up losing because they have quite a few resources in the Sanctum Sanctorum. If we can dodge, okay, so we dodge the Wong Mystique, so we will get to trigger 4 times, where they only triggered twice. We probably lose. We're gonna have to get really, really lucky on the remaining couple of triggers, but ooh, wait. No, that's not quite enough, is it? No. Had that last one hit Black Bolt, or maybe hit the squirrel over here. It could have worked, but the Gambit casino doesn't pay off for us today. But the more times you play in, the more times you're gonna have some upside every once in a while. And then Za Godman, this is the first featured location where I felt like I was forced to make a new deck for it. Just because of how much, I feel the same way, Za. I enjoy the featured locations, I enjoy building decks around them, but I feel like even just running a normal deck right now, if the location comes up, you could lose a lot of your like strategic edge or advantage. So like an Infinite becomes a 6/6, and it has the restriction, it becomes hard to use. So I feel the same way. And then Zombie, it will be tough when it shows up in normal rotation. Yeah, it'll have a really big impact, and so Iron Man's already really heavily ran. So I think we're going to continue to see that into even after like Mr. Negative is not really great anymore. It's just if that gets hit, it is so strong that it's going to be hard to compete against. And then I think we may even see some extra like Arnhem Zolas and things that will be able to copy cards, because if it gets inverted, that's huge. Negative really should have been given negative power instead of just 1. Yeah, and I think they're going to continue looking at it. I don't think it's set in place just yet. I think they definitely are kind of looking at figuring out how to balance it in the best way. So I think I'm going to go towards capping out Mojo World early. We're going to play Cable and Yondu. We're going to hold Mantis for a potential... We're still holding out hope for Wong. It is only turn 3, but I do want to kind of push some power onto the Mojo World, just in case they like lock it down or do anything cheeky about it. And then Harry, I'm happy to be back. I know it was only a 1-day gap, but I feel like it was... I don't know, it felt weird. I was having stream withdrawals. I was really wanting to stream, and so I'm glad I was able to catch some time and jump in. Yeah, hoping for Thanos and see decks built around it. Yeah, Thanos is going to be a huge card. I don't know how strong it will be overall, but I think it's going to be a really fun card to build around. It's going to be. I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be extreme. I don't think it's going to be top tier. But I think it's going to be entertaining. I think it's going to be one of those decks that when it works incredibly well. But it's going to have hard counters to things like junk decks or things that clog up your board. I think it's going to be really susceptible to. So here I'm really sure what we want to do besides play the Widow's Bite. The Spider-Man that we got from the Cable doesn't do us a lot of good, but we do know that they're running some kind of like restrictive deck potentially. I think we hold this for 1 turn. If they don't play in Mojo World, maybe we drop Spider-Man here. Maybe we drop it into like the sewer system to try and keep our advantage going into turn 6. When it's added to normal rotation, we will at least stop seeing a lot of the decks dedicated to it. Yeah, we'll still see Mr. Negative just because he's so strong. But I think you're right. I don't think it'll be as dedicated to it at that point. So I think we play... I think we play our Spider-Man into the sewer system. Maybe we play both Spider-Man and Mantis. We leave a space open for something like a Black Bolt here. Because I'm... Or do we gamble? Let's go ahead and gamble. We're going to gamble that they're not going to play a card in Mojo World this turn. And we can steal away the easy win by blocking them out of it. And so then I'm going to play Mantis into the sewer system. I would anticipate they send us something like a Hobgoblin. Oh, so no, they play the Arrow, so we're not going to be able to cap out Mojo World. We will be able to make sure they don't play any resources into Hellfire Club, but not Mojo World, unfortunately. That's game 1 with Soul Knife. So you two have already matched up. I know Jeremiah said that he was committed to queuing into you at least once during the stream. I think this one's going to be another loss, guys. We can change this one, but that doesn't give us much upside. We can change this one, but we still have a pretty restrictive turn 7 play. Without Wong and being able to really impact those cards, we are gonna take our 1 cube loss. We're gonna retreat, reset, hope for a better setup. And then if we can't get anything going, maybe we switch over to the extremely counter heavy Q-esque deck. And then maybe we even try to run some Pilk special of the Cerebro 3. I've been tired of Mr. Negative for 2 months now. Yeah, he's been very polarizing for the better part of the last 2 seasons, and so I feel like his patch was a little underwhelming, or his nerf was a little underwhelming. He's still definitely playable. He didn't get the Nakia treatment where she just feels really really poor to run. And then Astros, I believe there was a post in the official Discord that Miles was October and Black Panther was November. Really, and so I usually kind of keep. Hey Yuri, thank you for subscribing to us on YouTube. I usually try and keep a little bit of distance. That way, whenever I open it on the new card release day, it's kind of like a surprise. But Miles would make sense, and then Black Panther for the movie in November would. I know that I saw something from a Vin Kelsier, but I don't know if it was anything official or not. So I think we're going to play Cable here. We're going to be able to do Wong on 4. That'll allow us to do a turn 5 Black Bolt, which will discard 4 of their cards. And so I think we start working on destroying some of the cards that they have in their left in their deck. And then we rely on the Wong Black Bolt at the end to really push it over the top. And then Rando, yo, we live? Yeah, we are live. We've only been live for about 10 minutes. And so you're not too incredibly late. I think you're right on time. Do we think they play anything into Hellfire Club? Maybe they play into Space Throne. I think we rely on the Gambit for our last turn play. So next turn we'll do Wong. On 5 we'll do Black Bolt. Turn 6 will be something like a Gambit and maybe a Gambit and a Moon Knight. So maybe we actually play our Yondu into the Space Throne. That protects our upside. It gives us, all we have to hit is the one target that's in Space Throne at the end of the game to be able to swing it. We don't really have another great card that we plan on dropping there. Long time no see, Harry. It has been a really long time, and I'm so sad. I keep checking the store every day, hoping that we get a Wong variant, just because it's I feel like it's well overdue. But nothing yet. We'll have to wait a little bit longer. Did you just start playing the stream? Have I missed much gameplay? Hockey, no. So we've only been live about 12 minutes. So we still got plenty of the lunch live stream left. I think we've only made it through 2 full games, and so we'll go for a little while. And then if this deck doesn't kind of pop off or feel like it's doing well, then maybe we pivot at that point. So we know that they're running a Mr. Negative list. I think we go with Black Bolt. I think they probably go with something that's going to steal this ongoing ability. Like the Mystique feels like it would be incredibly strong, but I think Black Bolt's going to be the play. Black Bolt's going to trigger 4 times here, and then we have initiative. So even if they do use a Rogue or an Enchantress, we will flip first, so we'll at least get the upside there. Otherwise, if we didn't think they were running something that could counter this, I'd do a Wong into, or a Mystique into a Gambit, which would trigger, 16 times to destroy their entire board. But I think this is what we have to, I think this is the safest path for us to play. Hey Toys, how's it going? I'm glad you were able to jump in and catch us live. Ooh, so we destroyed some of their decent cards. We destroyed Mystique, Devil Dino, a lot of really, really strong cards for them. They do get the White Tiger trigger, so we would have been safe to do Mystique. Black Bolt's playable in very very niche scenarios, but definitely not unusable. So we flip first here, which does feel a little bit unfortunate. So we're gonna hit 4 cards with our Gambit. If they play a card here, we don't have a chance to destroy it. We're going to destroy just about everything else they have on the board. There's going to be 1 card left after we do the Gambit, so I think we still have a chance here, but I think they probably naturally drop a card into the Space Throne here. We can kill all of them? No, it should only go 4 times, right? I'm well, work is done and only 1 day left until vacation. Nice, Toys. I'm sure it's a well-deserved vacation. Hopefully you're able to get some downtime and some game time in. Krispy Kreme, hey, how's it going? I hope you're having a great day so far. So we can't do Mystique because the last card that we dropped was Black Bolt. So Mystique's not gonna do us much good. I mean, if we threw it, it'd just be there to be there. Maybe as a counter to a potential Gambit or like a Ronin. So I think we play it on the board, but it won't give us any upside. You could magic first on the right. Ooh, you're right. We could have magicked. I didn't even realize we had magic. Zat. And Zat, thank you for joining us. I know that you're really active in like the Discord and all over the place. So I appreciate you being here. We do destroy everything but their White Tiger, which is the least powerful one. And then the Ronin comes in. We're not going to be able to... Oh, actually, no. We sweep because we discarded all of our cards. So that's one way to win. What a sad-looking side of the board. It wasn't the ultimate high roll, but it was incredibly satisfying way to end the game. Very, very clean way to end it. And then Guile Hermy, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. And then Tofu, thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed the video. I have a lot of fun with this type of archetype. It's not necessarily the strongest or the most consistent, but when it works, it is so much fun to play and to see happen. And so I really enjoyed this style of archetype. It's just not something I run all of the time. And then Jeremy, glad I can catch you. Ian gave me the day off. Nice. I'm glad that you have the day off. Hopefully, I don't know if you plan on staying in or if you plan on going out, making plans. Me personally, I'd probably be the one that ended up staying in. But having the day off is nice nonetheless, especially if it came as a surprise. Yeah, the cheap Wong is going to be really, really good. Not only is it cheap, but we got it inverted, so now it's 1 cost. I'm wondering if we play it or not. Actually, we can play it along with Cable. I think because we have it so early, we go ahead and play it just in case they have a leech. Which if it was inverted and discounted, they could play it this turn. And I would hate to get my hand leeched having a discounted Wong and Cable. So let's go ahead and start kind of destroying some of their cards. I think we should get a pretty good upside. We have Enchantress to take care of that Iron Man. One of the Iron Man, they're going to have 2. But still, I think it's going to be something that we're going to be able to address. We're going to be able to take away a lot of their resources here. They go ahead and extend the game, so we now know that we don't have to drop our magic. We can use that energy on other resources. I'm curious, what is the Cerebro 3 list you're talking about? So Pilk in the Discord came up with it's a secret weapon. It's a secret weapon that I can't figure out how to use. I had the win, but I didn't have it inverted, and then I dropped a card that ruined the whole thing. I'm not very good at Cerebro. Cerebro is probably my least efficient list, just because I haven't played with it very much, and I feel like you have to really think out your plays. And so I don't know. I'm hesitant to try that one. I know Pilk was all about pushing it. So I think we do a Yondu here to take care of 2 of their remaining cards. We will be able to do a Ronin into a Mystique. And we have plenty of time left. And so I think our Enchantress is going to be good at destroying their Hellfire Club. They have a Spider-Man. Interesting. I wonder if they have like a lockdown kind of hybrid Mr. Negative, where they're going to be able to use like a Professor X into the Limbo lane. We do destroy their Sandman. And there's one other card. I forget what it was already. It's terrible. We draw into Black Bolt. If they don't lock this one down this turn, next turn we can do a Black Bolt, which will get rid of the rest of their resources. And so I think we just play Magic on the board. I know that the Limbo location's already in effect, but that way we get 4 power on the board. We take it out of our hand, and then we're going to be able to kind of play from there. Actually, Ronin's not going to be good, right? Ronin's going to be a really poor example because we're going to force them to discard all of their cards. It'll be a 0 power card, and so we won't want to play Ronin. Ronin's not going to be the play for us. We'll have to look for a different kind of win condition. Ooh, so they use Rogue to steal our Wong's ability. And so right now they are 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're 12 power here. Our Enchantress is not going to be enough, even if it takes out their Iron Man. Now we have 2 Mystiques. Ugh. We have 2 Mystiques, and I don't think we have any other ongoing cards. I don't know that we're going to steal any more of their ongoing cards. I think we still play our Black Bolt. We still force them to discard one card. Yeah, I think we go with the Black Bolt. If they hold like an inverted resource to try and use it towards the end of the game, I think we'll get some upside from it. But we're gonna need a really strong turn 6 and turn 7. You said Enchantress. So since it's not Rogue, it's not gonna steal their cards. It just I know that we can Enchantress at... Oh yeah, on turn 7, yeah, definitely. Definitely we want to Enchantress this Iron Man to swing this lane. We just have to make sure we have enough of an advantage in peak to be able to win both of them. But the left lane, that's going to be a lost cause. We're not going to have a way to push up over that power. So let's go with the Black Bolt. Hey, the beard's back. Grandpa Eyebrows. The beard is back for now. That's rough. That is, I feel like we brought that on. Oh, you can't see the power. Did I not switch over? Oh no, it's just off a little bit. Hold on. There we go. So this one looks like a hard retreat. So the leech, I feel like that's our just desserts. That we put that into the atmosphere on the day 1 of the featured location. We deserve to be leeched. We're gonna retreat with a 1 cube loss. We're gonna bounce back and forth. We're gonna look for a high roll game. I want at least one really good high roll Wong game before we switch off. We can always run the leech counterplay. So our other deck that we featured the day before is going to be stronger. So the little bit crazy deck. This one. So the little bit crazy deck is going to be a little bit stronger just overall because it has the really strong counter cards in like Cosmo, Leech. But I want to get at least one really good game with our Wong combo first. Before we pivot, I want at least one strong game just because it's so much fun to play. And it causes so many like crazy swings whenever it works correctly. Anthony, good game, TLSG. Looking forward to watching the other side later tonight. Hey, was that you in our last game with the Leech play? It was a very good game. The Leech kind of put it over the top. Time for grinding cubes. I'm at 107, so we don't need to necessarily grind really hard. So we have I don't know, we have the ability to just kind of play for fun for now. And then the grind will come next week for sure. Once we hit Tuesday, we'll start running some like really strong decks again. And we'll probably do that a little bit before as well. But yeah, if you leech an Infinite, it's really cool. But with the peak, I'm always afraid to have Infinite in my hand. Because then it could end up being a 6/6, which is going to be underwhelming anyways. So with Sinister London, we're going to be able to duplicate cards across the board. Do we go ahead and start that? Maybe we wait one turn. Let's wait one turn. Let's play Psylocke. If we draw into Wong, that's going to help us. That's going to help us quite a bit. Soyo Penguin, yeah, that was a really good game. Ooh, we do draw into Wong. That's perfect. It was a really good game. The Rogue countered like our extra Black Bolt play, and just made things really difficult. And so it was a very good game, Anthony. So we draw into Wong, which is going to be able to duplicate. We're then going to be able to start playing our discard and our steal cards, as long as this isn't like a Cosmo, which would be a really hard counter. Otherwise, we should get some pretty decent upside. They're going to discard a few. Ooh, if they're running Hella, then we're good. If they're running something that runs like an Apocalypse or a Swarm, we may not be as good. So I think we do a Cable to steal 3 to 4 of their cards. Then we do a Yondu to destroy the rest. Next turn, we can focus on a Moon Knight to have them discard the rest of what they have in their hand. And I think that should kind of cap it off and finalize it for us. Yeah, I think the Yondu is going to be definitely... Yondu feels kind of versatile. So Cable's going to make our hand size a little bit too big. We're going to have too many cards in hand. And then Yondu is going to be able to make sure that we can still get rid of them. Oh yeah, Harry, you're right. We should have snapped. We definitely should have snapped, knowing that we're going to steal so many of their resources. So we get their Ghost Rider and Invisible Woman. So it does look like a Hella build. But it looks like they have Hella in hand already. And so they have 3 cards in hand. We're going to be able to discard, I guess, all 3, right? We can do a Moon Knight, which will discard 2. It'll pop over here, discard a couple more. We won't be able to do Giganto. Actually, we could do a... No, we can't do a Lady Sif in a Ghost Rider because of the big house. No, we can't even change it with magic. Toby, hey TLSG, I'm coming over from Molt stream. Hey, how's it going? I didn't realize that Molt was still finishing up. I know that he streams a little bit later than I normally do, and we started normal. I hope that he had a great stream. I'm glad that you're jumping over and joining us. And then Alexander, finally a great game. Yeah, the Sinister London location, Sinister London, Kamartage, and Onslaught Citadel are all really great for enabling this style of archetype, because it helps you like really make your impact. All of those cards that were just decent become really strong. So I am going to do at least one more. I want to snap advantageously beforehand, so we can get at least 2 cubes before they retreat. And then toys. How would you rate the strength of this deck? Obviously, there's a lot of RNG, but when everything hits, it feels kind of yeah. So toys. I feel like if you draw into your combo pieces and the opponent does not have a direct counter for it, it's incredibly strong. It's really hard to defeat because you can destroy between 2 to 16, depending on locations and factors, cards from their side with Gambit. You can make them discard their own cards. We can draw their resources as well. So I feel like it's really unfun to play against. So when it works incredibly well. Oh, the Uno Moss train. Yeah, it's starting early. The Uno Moss train is starting early. So we have Wong, we have Mantis Yondu. Maybe we hold these 2, and on 5 we do something like a Wong, Mantis Yondu into Necrotia. The deck that can get you a lot of cubes as long as you retreat smartly. Yeah, so this one can get you some cubes, but you do have to retreat strategically. It's kind of like a lockdown list, something where you run Professor X. You need to snap before your combo pops off. And so you need to be able to kind of gauge it and read it well, so that you can snap whenever you do have the advantage. Don't know why there are question markers there. Oh yeah, okay. Uno Mas. Okay, I see the question marks now, Rando. So I think we leave Kiln. If they only play like maybe 1 or 2 cards there, we can try to target it. Ooh, they just play Mr. Negative. So we're gonna be able to, maybe we drop Gambit this turn. They're going to turn first, but we can do... Actually, Cable is going to be great. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, we don't need all 3. We just need 2 of them, right? So let's go with the guaranteed 2. They just... This is going to be a snap. So they just hit the Mr. Negative. They've drawn 1 of their resources. He only has 4 in hand. Cable and Yondu is going to guarantee that we make him get rid of all of the inverted cards that are still left in his list. We can then go with the double trigger of Black Bolt. That's going to make him discard 2 of the ones that he has in hand. And then we have the Gambit potentially to come in. And so... Oh, click that negative variant for you. So this one's it's becoming more common. I think it was released recently, but it does look pretty cool. May as well play the Psylocke, yeah. I think we might as well play the Psylocke here just to have the extra energy next turn. Then we could do something like a Black Bolt Mantis, or we could do a Magic Mantis. It just depends on what it looks like here. Ooh, so they extend the game. They're not going to be happy about extending the game. So now we have their Psylocke, we have their Wolfsbane. We don't draw into huge resources from the play, but we destroyed their Iron Man, which could have been ours, unfortunately, and then we destroyed their Iron Heart. And so now they're left with only 6 cards left. We can force them to discard 2 of them, potentially. But I am kind of concerned about this Mr. Negative. We turn first, so if we do a Gambit this turn, we can guarantee that we destroyed this Mr. Negative, and then this Limbo location, or this Magic as well. And so it's gonna feel, it would feel fun to make them discard most of their cards. But I think this at least forces us into a tie in Kiln. And then we can work on using like Wolfsbane towards the end. We have a decent play line to finish off the game. It's such a cruel deck. Yeah, I do feel a little bit bad. So we know that they don't have Mr. Negative. They could potentially have, I mean, they could potentially have like a Ronin. We're gonna discard 2 of our cards here. They do need a Marvel zombie variant set. I bet maybe Halloween they do something kind of cool like that. So they snapped. I'm curious why they snapped. Mantis Wolfsbane for max stats. Yeah, but then we have 1 additional turn left. We have 1 additional turn left, and I guess you're right. Playing the low-cost card there probably would have been the play. So Arnim Zola and Ronin. Well, if they hit the Arnim Zola, that's difficult, right? They may still do it. Might as well Mantis. There's no reason to hold it. Yeah, you're right. Because all we have left is the Mystique. Yeah, so the Mantis would have at least helped us a little bit. I think they probably have it. They have 4 resources left. They have their Mystique, probably maybe Mystique and Gambit. You can't play anything else. Yeah, Q, you guys are right. We would have had a little bit more power on both the Wolfsbane and the Mantis. They could have a White Tiger, which would push here and here. I bet they end up winning this one. Had we drawn into their inverted Iron Man, I think we would have got more upside. Unfortunately, we hit their Psylocke, which is a little bit of a low roll. The inverted Iron Man would have let us do like an Iron Man and Mystique into either of these 2 locations. But I think we let it play out. I'm okay losing 8 cubes before we retreat. Yeah, we probably should. We probably should retreat, but I'm okay seeing the 8 cube loss. Yeah, I think it's a no-go. So then the double Wong, so the 4 trigger of what, White Tiger? White Tiger at 1 cost? No, it's the Gambit. They're going to the Gambit Casino too, but they don't have a strong board presence. So as long as they don't hit our Wolfsbane, we might come out with a win. We have 1 more to dodge. Oh no. It was the last trigger of the last Gambit Casino. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. So, and it comes back to the misplay with the Mantis. Had I played Mantis, we would have had 2 extra power in the big house lane. We would have had 2 extra power on, yeah, yep, Q. As soon as I saw it, I realized how much I messed up. A lot of times you can kind of shrug it off as like, it's okay, I misplayed, but I still won. But this one, you know that it would have been the game changer. So those feel even worse. Those feel just a little bit worse. And so wow, that's what you want to lose your 8 cubes though. Yeah, that means you're snapping correctly. Yeah, and so we had a chance to win it, and we should have been able to win that one. We misplayed slightly. You have a real impact. You have a real impact on the decks being played. I remember 2 weeks ago I ran into several people playing the Agatha negative list right after you showcase it. Yeah, so the day after I release a featured video or a featured deck, I love playing into that the next day. Because I get to see how many people adopt it so quickly. And then even if they didn't watch the video, after a while, you start playing up against it. And if it does well, then you get curious and you kind of adopt it as well. It's really interesting to see some of those decks that really take off. And what it what it does to the meta. And then, hey Joel, how's it going? I hope you're having a great day. I'm glad that you were able to jump in and join us. Yeah, we haven't had any Q games today. I'm glad you were able to jump in and join us for the lunch live stream. We're only about 30 minutes in. We've been playing with the Wong. I guess the Wong deck list. We probably should have been playing with something a little bit different, but nonetheless, we had a really big potential 8 cube game. If you just joined in and didn't catch the last of the last match, we had a really close game. It was one misplay was what caused us to lose. So we have our Wong, we have our Psylocke ramp. We did draw into the Triskelion, which is kind of unfortunate because that means that like a Black Bolt's not going to be as impactful. But I think we still play our Psylocke. I think we'll still play our Wong. We hope to draw into Mystique, but odds are we won't. And then we'll just play, hey, Binks. How are you liking the peak? It is hit and miss. I really enjoy being able to run some of the combo pieces that we're running. But at the same time, it really kind of forces like that meta into a really strong direction, and so I enjoy it. It creates some really kind of crazy swings with like potential Wong plays. It makes Leech playable, which I'm excited about, but I also dislike quite a bit. It hurts whenever you get Wong or whenever you get leeched. But I feel like me putting that out into the atmosphere made it happen a lot more often than it would have otherwise. But overall, I think it's okay. If it was here all of the time, I think it would get old pretty quickly. But having it like kind of sprinkled into the meta, I think is going to be really interesting. Because then you're going to have to really be like, if you draw into that and you're running like a Lockjaw deck, it could really tank your entire game. Or if you're running like a big, large minion deck, it's going to be interesting to see how it impacts the game long term. But I'm glad that you're here, Binks. I saw that you did your first stream. It was a restream, right, onto both Twitch and YouTube. How did it end up going? Did you like the interaction? I eventually gave up the restream process and just went straight to just YouTube. But I like seeing all these people that are kind of experimenting with going back and forth. Yeah, it's definitely going to break some hands in the future, which is going to be pretty funny to see, but not whenever it happens to us. So they played a Wong into the Triskelion. I guess they forgot about the Bifrost, and so it pushes it over into their Gamma Lab location. So they're not going to be able to do much there with the Wong ability, even if they have a Mystique. We can always do a Rogue to steal their Wong if we need additional space to like trigger ours. I think we start with the Black Bolt though. Actually, that feels kind of unimpactful. With the Triskelion, it's not going to hit any like high priority targets. Maybe we extend the game on turn 5, see what they play a little bit more, give us an extra chance to draw into some additional things. And then Quinn, hey TLSG, I got the chance to play against you a couple times this week as Requix. Hopefully we'll get some more games together. Yeah, I love whenever I run up to people that either watch the stream or watch the videos, the stream, or that I recognize from the comment section. I always get so excited whenever I can run up against somebody that I kind of recognize. Those games feel like they're so much higher stakes than like a normal game. What's wrong with this guy? I don't know. They're still going to beat us though. Like they misplayed the Wong, and I still think they missed. I still think they beat us pretty heavily. Now we can Wong their blue Marvel. We could always Enchantress it if we needed to. Do we now go with Black Bolt? It's a decent power push on the board. We do have one additional turn. As long as we can win this lane and this one, so maybe we even push Electra just to have a power presence. If we end up dropping our blue Marvel, then we'll be able to buffer up by 1. But maybe we just drop Rogue and then maybe like a Mysterio. We'll have to see what we draw into what they play. Maybe an Enchantress is going to be worthwhile. Toby, I put this earlier. We'll put it again, especially at Binks is here. The featured location gave me a new perspective of nerfing cards by reducing power. Yeah, and so it's always interesting up to this point to see whenever they like reduce the power level of a card, but they like increase the cost. My first thought is always like, how does that impact like the Mr. Negative meta or some of those like kind of obscure kind of play lines? It's really interesting to see how they balance that, because I think it is very, very intricate in how they do it. So they have a Mr. Fantastic, a Mystique, and a Blue Marvel. We could Rogue and then copy it with Mystique, but that's going to hit. It could hit a Blue Marvel. It could hit their Mr. Fantastic. We don't know. I almost want to do it anyways, because if we hit, maybe not. Maybe we go with the Enchantress and the Mysterio and hope that they don't have a huge power to play in the left lane. I kind of hope that they push some kind of like maybe an onslaught into mid, and we can counteract it. Yeah, the enchant. To enchanter sword to rogue. I'm torn because they have so many others. I think the enchantress is going to be a little bit better. But somebody asked if rogue is on reveal. So it is on reveal. It steals an ongoing ability from the opponent, and at that point it changes into an ongoing ability. It sucks that every change in the game has to resolve around out. Yeah, it makes it really difficult. So as soon as I saw the card and like that really powerful impact that it can have, Pilk, I'm so glad that you're here. I thought it'd be too late for you. We do have reverse 3 bro kind of queued up. Ooh, because we hit their ongoing abilities with our enchantress, their spectrum actually doesn't do much for them at all. And so we are able to sneak away that win. And so Pilk, now that you're here, and did the notification pop up? Oh, actually, no. There it goes.
This isn't reverse 3 bro. Bro.
And so Pilk, I've tried I've tried to make the reverse Cerebro work. I don't have the card abilities captured for it, so I'm gonna hide that. We're gonna take a quick snapshot of the actual deck list. I'll give it a shot for you. I will give it a shot. I was getting absolutely demolished. I think it's because I'm not great at Cerebro. Binks is in here, and Binks is in my head one of the bigger brained Cerebro players that we have, and so he might be able to make this work. I know that you were having a decent amount of success with it. I was getting absolutely destroyed. And so we do have the deck list up on the screen now. We're gonna pivot just a little bit. I'm gonna reset our cubes, wipe away that negative loss. We don't want to see the -7 anymore. We're gonna go with orb, which is reverse bro. Because it does have Mr. Negative. It is working on around the peak location and around the Mr. Negative interaction to make like Cerebro and Mystique both 3 power. I think it's, I don't know. It's not as consistent as and Cerebro is already not an incredibly consistent deck list. But like now, if we get hit with a peak, it's huge. Okay, well now never mind. Now we don't want the peak. We won't be able to use our Mystique. All right, Pilk. This one's for you, Pilk. We're gonna give it our best shot. Toby, what a wild deck list. It is. It is an incredibly wild deck list. Pilk always comes up. I call them Pilk specials because they are always so like they're unique. I don't know a better way to explain it. They're always incredibly unique. And then Astros, do you have experience with other trading card games like Magic the Gathering, Hearthstone? So I have experience with a few. I played Yu-Gi-Oh at like a very non-competitive level whenever I was younger. I played Hearthstone whenever it first came out. I pivoted from there into Legends of Runeterra, and then pivoted back to Hearthstone, and then from there we found Marvel Snap, and that's kind of where we feel like we're most at home. I feel like the deck size and the quick games allow me to really experiment and not have to commit a whole lot of time into necessarily learning the common meta at least at that point in time, because with 12 cards you can really switch in and out pretty intermittently and not have too much of a negative impact. So how many 3-cost cards do you want? Yes, all of them. We want all of the we want all of the 3-cost cards. When do we get Rhino and Brood? I believe both are pool 2, Tavi. And so they're not too deep into the collection. So I think by maybe the end of the 2nd or 3rd week, if you're hitting all of your weeklies, I think you should be able to have both Rhino and Brood. I feel like the nerf to Mr. Negative did make people play him a bit less. Yeah. Yep. I feel like he was kind of sidelined, and then the peak made it just stand out as kind of that forerunner. Like that is the most ideal card that you can have. And so we are going to pull one more 3 cost over. Actually, we're going to pull both of them into the flooded location, right? Does that make it hard for us to win one of the other 2 lanes? Cool, thanks. It's wild to see a streamer read my comment. No problem at all. I try to keep up with all of them, and it's still a delicate balance that I'm working with, especially as our viewership grows. I really like the live stream environment because I am able to interact with you guys in real time. Whenever we're just doing the videos, we have the comment section that I try to respond to as many as possible, but there's still, you know, that kind of gap in being able to hit and read all of them as ideally as possible. Murdoch, read this comment. You've got it, Murdoch. We lose this one, right? We could do Cerebro. We could do Gambit, but that's, I mean... You got him. You got me. Use the Pilk. I'll believe in it. So use Cerebro and Gambit. Is that the play line? Or do we use Juggernaut and Gambit here? We could use Juggernaut to make sure nothing new gets here and push it off either here or here, and then hope that Gambit hits the Ronin. Is that the play? Sensei is here to teach you. Listen to him. So is this the play? The Jug Gambit? All right, that's what we're gonna go with. Are we confident? Do we snap? I'm not gonna snap. This is gonna be a casino. It depends on how many cards they play here. If they just flood the board, we are absolutely at a loss. Pray to RNGesus. So we only have 3. Okay, we could win if we hit the left Ronin, the Ronin on the left hand side with our Gambit. We win, right? No, actually, we win regardless. No way. Pilk. What? You're gonna make me a C3 bro believer. This strange concoction of a deck list. Oh no. Okay, I mean we might go on the biggest tear we've ever seen here. We just need your guidance, Pilk. Pilk, log out from the dev account. You're controlling the RNG. Game devs who need to test a card post nerf. The new feature location is great for Mr. Negative, but good luck getting the peak. Yeah, I feel like throughout the day there is a flow, and I feel like they maybe control that percentage based on like the overall perception of the list or of the location. So like for this one, there was a lot of like negative thoughts on it, and so maybe they just like reduced it where you barely see it at all. So if you get here, if you get peak here, it's an easy win. We get Mr. Negative, we get Mystique, Cerebro, Brood, and so we were hoping. We haven't seen the peak. I think we've seen it once today. That's huge too. Do we go ahead and play Hawkeye next turn? We do Cerebro, or do we hold? Because my greedy self says we play it. But then that leaves us open for counterplay. It leaves us open for like an Enchantress, a Rogue. I always Hawkeye on 2. All right, and then we hope for the peak in this last one. And because Pilk is here, and because Pilk is washing, okay, I thought we would get it. Why Hawkeye on Onslaught? Because I really thought we were gonna need to play Cerebro into it. I thought we were gonna. I didn't necessarily want to play Brood without it being inverted. But we do get a Debris, and then we can hope that this one changes into Onslaught. I'm telling you guys, Cerebro is not my strong suit. Cerebro is a tough one for me because there's so many like kind of avenues or fine lines. Jank wins from a jank list. I love it. It's okay. Pilk will just check the enemy inputs. So we can just play it however. So I think we're going to go with debris. That'll make sure we have two 3 power cards here. What cards negative next turn? Oh, we messed up, right? We messed up. So doing the reverse, we can still hit our... We can hit Storm, we can hit Mr. Fantastic. But we Pilk for... We Mr. Negative for the flavor, right? It's for like the spice on top. Oh yeah, we do have Doctor Strange to pull them away. You're right. You're right, Q. And I mean, even if we go this way and we don't get Doctor Strange, oh wait, we have Strange in hand. Oh, that's huge. That's huge. We could even do Cerebro and then copy it over here, and it'd still be 3 Cerebros, which would be fine. But we do have Doctor Strange. It's going to be able to pull them into one of the other lanes. Pilk, this I promise. When I tested this, it was not working like this. I got absolutely tabled. But now it seems to be working just fine. So do we leave 2 spaces like this, or do we Doctor Strange it over to the left and only create 1 additional space in the Citadel? I feel like I have to check with you guys on every move for this deck list. I'm trying to make Lockjaw Devil Dino deck. The Lockjaw, I want to test out Devil Dino because I kind of wrote it off. Ooh, well, it goes in order of play. Doctor Strange should go in order of play, but you're right. It is safer to do the Storm first, but he should pull this one and this one. But just in case that's not how it works. Pilk, is this strong enough to snap? I feel like we're strong enough to snap here. Twitch, YouTube plays Marvel Snap. Oh, you saw him drag out of order? Yes, yes, Snap, why not? No, I did. Oh, wait, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I was distracted. I thought I took them down and then played Strange first, but I did it in the exact same order. We got lucky that they retreated. So we are positive 3 cubes for the list, which is more than we can say for a lot of our lists so far. I mean, we could stop now and retire it at the top. We're gonna keep going though. You need to pay more attention. Plup, you're right. You're right, Plup. We need to focus on the game a little bit more. We did get the free win. And then we won again. I mean, it may be that we'd never have to doubt you again. But Pilk, the reason I left the thumbnail for this live stream kind of vague instead of doing exactly what list we were going to run was for the off chance that you were up late enough or early enough that you were able to catch it so that we could run this list because I built it and I just couldn't get it to work. And then now it's working phenomenally. So we have the Cerebro out on board, which feels kind of bad. It does kind of leave us out in the open, but I think we're okay. I don't think it's something that runs Hood and Angela. I don't think they're going to have the counterplay. Ooh, and then we get Elysium, so it reduces the cost of our cards. Do we do Debris here, and then next turn we do a Juggernaut to push them off of Asgard? Or do we do it this turn since we have initiative? Can you recommend a deck list or specific cards for someone who just started? Asking for a friend. It depends on how far you are. The Honorville cards are now in a pretty decent place. With something like Gamora being a really high power. TLSG, what are you doing, buddy? You're definitely overthinking everything. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna do Juggernaut because if we do Debris here, we probably lose initiative, and so then we wouldn't be able to guarantee that it doesn't buff their Angela next turn. So we'll go Juggernaut and then probably a Debris next turn. But as far as a deck list, I like depending on how far you are. If you're early pull 1, I'd say doing something with either Spectrum ongoing buff or Khazar Zoo if you're early enough to have those cards. Once you have Bishop, a lot of 1-cost cards, and Khazar, Khazar Zoo is going to be really strong. It's going to hold you over until you get into pool 2. Do you ever eat lunch on your lunch live streams? Murdoff, no. No, I don't. Usually I end up getting too distracted and we just play the whole time. And then I just grab something real quick to eat as I'm like jumping back into a meeting or onto a work call. So I'm going to do the debris here. They didn't play anything last turn, which is kind of disappointing. It's almost as if they saw the Juggernaut coming. So now they're going to get 2 triggers of Angela. They could have the 1-cost Demon, which feels kind of bad, but maybe we can get lucky and keep the lead. They do now. Nope, they're gonna have this. They're gonna have the lead in Asgard. They'll get 2 additional resources. Our Gambit's not gonna be a great resource. You want to play this list, but you're only missing 1 card. Which card is it that you're missing, Suja? And then Toby. I see a lot of natty 2-power cards. Thought on adapting Captain America to push them to 3. That might be a play for those games where you don't get it inverted. But I'm definitely not the Mr. Negative expert here. So let's Cerebro 1. I'm missing Mystique and Jugs. Mystique is a really solid one for Cerebro lists. I feel like it's almost unplayable without it, just because of how much like high roll style it enables. Oh, you're missing Cerebro? Oh no. that is a pretty core one. That's a really core one. So I think we play Rhino here. And then do we hold the rest? Do we go ahead and play a Gambit? Mystique to copy Mr. Fantastic. Was that the last card I dropped? I thought Debris was the last card I dropped. Sensei is speaking to you. Play through me, Sensei. Channel the inner Cerebro 3, and we shall succeed. Okay, so do we do the Gambit Prey, or is this a retreat? I would say this one's a retreat, but I will defer to you, Cerebro 3 creator. Well, I guess Cerebro 2 into 3. Yeah, this one looks like a retreat. I don't see that like hitting any particular card is going to be good enough. Captain Marvel adds that kind of variability. Even if we hit that one, we don't have enough power here or here. They have a Captain Marvel, so even a high roll swing, we don't end up getting it. So we will go down to 2. Let's give it a couple more runs. Let's give it a couple more runs. See if we can get maybe we can get a peak location. I think we've seen it once this entire hour. So I feel like whenever they first release it, sometimes it's that you see it a lot, and then by the end of the second day, it's down to where you barely see it at all. So maybe they phase it in and then phase it out. They've never said anything like that. Ooh, and then we have Q. We're gonna risk 8 cubes. We're gonna risk 8 cubes on the Cerebro 3. If there was ever a time for peak, this is the time. We do have Cerebro, which would end up being a 3-power card. we did it. We made it happen. So we're gonna hold Hawkeye until turn 2. We don't want to drop him and not have anything to follow up. Nidavellir ruins our... We'll probably Rhino Nidavellir at some point. Yeah, Rhino or Storm, because it ruins our Cerebro buff. We could Rhino it as well. Q stream snipe incoming. I feel like when he beats us fair and square. Smells like an 8 cube gain. You think, Toby? You think we're gonna be positive 10 after this? We might be. So I think we do Hawkeye. We see what we draw into next, and Storm Xandar. Rhino or Storm Knit away, and Storm Xandar. Oh yeah, the Xandar is a rough one too. So I think we do Nidavellir first, and then if we draw into Storm, we play there. If not, then maybe we just play like a Brood, or not. Yeah, maybe we play a non-inverted Brood into Xandar, which would push it up to 3 power. I think we could maybe use Xandar to work in our favor with how many 2-cost cards we have in the list. So let's go ahead and go Rhino early, just to make sure that we get rid of it. If he has a Cosmo, we don't want to be stuck into the Nidavellir lane. We want to get rid of it. How can Q possibly expect what? How can he expect the unexpected? Usually he has a very like reactive deck list, something that you're able to do a lot of. Actually, get rid of that dumb Dream Dimension. Dream Dimension is. I really like the Brood into Xandar though. I guess we could have grabbed Doctor Strange or grabbed whatever was in Nidavellir out with Doctor Strange, right? Where's the peak? Yesterday when I was playing an Agatha list, it showed up almost every game. Yeah, now it's not. The Brood mid I think is going to be huge. It's like Pilk anticipated the Xandar play here. So that's going to give us three power cards. Holy crap, I just saw you replied to my comments about the deck codes. Yeah, Rando. I've been a little bit behind. So juggling this with I have a couple of collaborative efforts coming out soon too. So juggling that with like the daily uploads, job, my daughter being sick, I've been a little bit behind on responses, but I do want to. I typically try to respond to as many as possible. That's why we're playing Xandar. So I think we hold both Cerebro and Mystique for the final turn. We're pushing for a Ruins and a Xandar win, right? Yeah, Rando. We're definitely spinning a lot of plates, and we're trying to make sure that they don't come crashing down. And so sometimes I don't get to respond as quickly as possible, and that's one of the reasons I like doing these live streams, because then we can have that back and forth interaction a lot quicker. Pilk, Juggernaut here. Play Debris left. Oh, that's right. Debris left. Or Juggernaut? Because if we push whatever they play here over into Dream Dimension, that gives us a pretty decent upside. It was much funnier. It was a much funnier game, Jeremiah. Oh, I must have. Okay, that must have been about what game you guys were playing. Yeah, so I guess we go with Juggernaut here. If they play a good card in Ruins, then we get some upside. Otherwise, it's just an extra 3-cost card. That's pretty rough. It's kind of mean. So we do Cerebro and Mystique still, right? Q very well could have a magic. But I think we need to, just in case he doesn't, we need to get our power on the board. Mr. Fantastic would have been good in Xandar, but I think we play the Cerebro Mystique, or whichever order, and then we wait to see what he plays. Yeah, I think the magic would probably be most likely to be incoming, but I don't think we can rely on it. Wait, Chauncey, you said no. No on this play line? I feel like we have to. Oh, nothing. Oh, nothing. I misread. Okay. I feel like we have to gamble on the Cerebro Mystique. We have to hope that he didn't draw into magic, or that he doesn't play it. Don't worry, you're good. Okay, so we have the Cerebro, we have the Mystique that's copying the Cerebro. We have a decent power level in the left and right lane. So let's see if we can maybe hold out. Oh my gosh, the Rogue? No. Huge. Into the Arnhem Zola? Q going for the Arnhem Zola Spidey. It's the inverted Arnhem Zola, so it is a pretty big power presence. If this last card is that, oh my gosh, that hurt. That hurt to watch. So the Rogue into the Mystique play was absolutely brutal. into the Arnhem Zola, which allowed him to have a big Arnhem Zola because it was inverted. Oh my god, yeah, it's calculated. That was a huge play. Oh, incredibly calculated. That was Q games are always incredibly wild. I don't think I've had a Q game where it was just like, oh, that was easy, or that was expected. It's always like really some obscure last turn play. Q, you dirty dog. He broed your bro with a non-bro. Cerebro on left. Oh yeah, just doing a Cerebro on left. I guess, yeah. Cerebro on left and just leaving it at that. It did so much mental math. That was a huge play, Q. That was such a big play. I didn't anticipate you stealing our Mystique or Cerebro with a Rogue and then duplicating it. Oh my gosh, it was huge. Very good game as always. Always very unexpected, unanticipated. And we have it again. Let's get our cubes back, guys. I want those 8 cubes back. A loss with this deck impossible. Yeah, Toby, right? Like, what are the odds that you don't actually? That's a terrible time for Monster Island. I don't think we can come in and win this one now. Yep, it would be a retreat. So since it's Q, we're gonna donate our cubes, but it's a loss. We might be able to get lucky with like a Gambit, potentially, but most likely it's an L. Yeah, Monster Island is literally a counter to the deck. Since we don't have any way to like send the monster away, destroy it, we can move it, but that's about it. Maybe the rocks will add enough interference in him that he won't be able to kind of compete. We can play our rock. We can always move some cards over into Mojo World or cap it out and then hope on a Gambit trigger to destroy his Mojo World. Viper is also a strong counter right now. Yeah, but it's usually hard to use a Viper on something that's more than 3 power without being, I don't know, without giving yourself too much of a crutch, because then at that point maybe you hinder yourself a little bit too much and they can't come back and win, or you can't come up with enough power to win, even without the Cerebros. So I think we triggered the Hawkeye. We start playing our cards into Mojo World. If only we had Valkyrie. If only she was released. So I think we can win the Mojo World location. Next turn we can do a Doctor Strange to pull them over. On the very last turn we can always do something like Cerebro and Gambit. I think we push a little bit power on the board. Valkyrie? She makes every card in that lane a 3 power card. Yeah, Doctor Strange is gonna pull the monster over into Mojo World for us. That way we let this one be a loss. We try to cap out Mojo World, and we hope that Gambit triggers and destroys one of their cards here. That way we can win. And I don't think this is a, since we have the monster already, I don't think this is a Mr. Negative game. I think we go with Doctor Strange, and then we do a double card into Mojo World to cap it out, and then. Yeah, Rando. Yeah, that would be and Valkyrie should have been out. She was planned to already be released, but they had to go back and kind of go to the drawing boards on their monetization model. And so right now we're still kind of waiting. Kill the monster with your Gambit. So they have a big Venom. We might have an advantage in Mojo World. So if he does an Arnhem Zola, we can very well kind of take this lane. And then if this one ends up at 0, then we win. Oh yeah, this was back with Jane Foster. Yeah, yeah. So Valkyrie was supposed to come out, I think, in the second Nexus event. So right after Jane Foster, and so yeah, it did end up kind of derailing it just a little bit. So we do the Cerebro and Gambit to make sure Mojo World is capped out, right? And that Venom is absolutely screaming to be. He won't play Arnim Zola. Yeah, the Gambit's a 50-50 right now. And then so we have initiative, 50-50 if we destroy their Venom. Even if he plays and wins here, we tie in, I guess he can play cards in Monster Island. Duh. Yeah, Rhino is 1 more power, but it's going to lose us the 100 power. So he's 99 power weaker. Because Mojo World will give us a 1-turn advantage. Or 1 card advantage, or it should, as long as our Gambit like triggers maybe their rock. We'd win this lane by 100. Is the reason for the Cerebro and not the... Oh, actually, Brood would be better then, right? Then we get 2 power here. I guess it's the same power. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's go in. Let's lock it in. Maybe we can get lucky with the Gambit trigger. Does it hit the Venom on the left-hand side? It does. And so now they have a Taskmaster, which will win the mid location, which is fine. We win Mojo World by 117. Oh no, we actually win 2 lanes. It wasn't even a tiebreaker. I forgot about Mr. Fantastic here. My gosh. Those Q games are next level. No, yeah, so Taskmaster, since the power is still technically there, we just destroyed the card, he still obtains the power level. That was, oh my gosh, that was huge. It came down to the 50-50. And so we'll play it 1 more, see if we can get another we'll see if we can get another good win. We are a little bit over on our lunchtime, so we will go for 1 more good one here. And then see what we can do. Yeah, that Gambit is a sniper today. And so we have Mr. Negative. We're gonna be able to invert our cards. So that seems like a pretty solid turn 4 drop, unless we can draw into the peak for 1 time during lunch, maybe. Hey Father, hey Father Cato, how's it going? I hope you're having a great day so far. Thank you for jumping in and joining us. So we're gonna skip this turn 2. Hope for the peak. We haven't seen it. We've seen it what, once? Oh my gosh. I feel like the peak doesn't exist anymore. They took it away. I know, I know, Pilk Enjoyer. I feel like they did away with peak. Yeah, the peak is stingy. So without peak, does it become almost better to Cerebro your Broods, your Brood, your Mr. Fantastics? Thank you for the pool 1 or 2 Sandman deck. Oh, are you currently running it? I ran that on Sulky Hulky on my free to play account. And that one did me wonders. So I'm glad that it's helping you out too. And I'm glad that you're jumping in and you're working through those different levels. I hope that it continues, like those videos kind of continue to help you as you progress your collection. I think I'm going to play Mr. Fantastic here. Sulky Hulky, yeah. Sulky Hulky has been getting has not been getting the attention that it deserves. Even with the reduced weekly missions, I haven't hit it this week, so I really need to jump back on and spend a little bit more time committed to it. So I think we stormed the left location. We're gonna go with a Cerebro 2 list here instead of the Cerebro 3, since we can't get the peak. Since Mr. Negative would come down on turn 4. You always use Mr. Negative. So what do we have left in our list? We have 5 cards left in our list. We have Juggernaut, which it wouldn't switch. Hawkeye. We have Mystique, which it would make Mystique free. But that would be a 3 cost. Debris, it wouldn't hit. And then Gambit. I like the storm. I like the storm. I like the storm, Pilk. I know that this deck list should run Mr. Negative, but we have so many of the 2 cost cards already. I feel like if Brood was in the list, we'd absolutely want to negative. And then can we get a compilation of TLSG best moments. The Gambit play belongs. I want to do something like that at some point. I'm trying to keep like a note of all like the really high roll style games that we get that are just absolutely insane. So a lot of the Q games would end up being in there. I think it's something that I want to do at some point. Taskmaster dig Venom from the grave. Yeah, someone shared it with me today in the Discord. Oh, perfect. I'm glad that it's working for you so far. And then there is a free to play series or playlist. So maybe some of those as you get into pool 3 will help as well. So we can't play any of our 3 cost cards if we go with this route. So we can do Brood. We actually have an extra turn, so maybe we do. I think we need power in Atlantis. I think with the double Cerebro Mystique, we might be able to get Storm up enough where she wins anyways. So let's go with the Brood in right. Let's see what they play. They could have a Gambit. And Cirque? Is it Cirque? How's it going? I hope you're having a great day so far. If it's not Cirque, feel free to kind of give me some pointers on how it's pronounced, because I definitely don't want to mispronounce your name. I kind of it's not even, it's a Cerebro 0 now. It could be. Cerebro 0 could get it. If he uses an Odin here, we're not going to be able, there's nothing we're going to be able to do. We do have one additional turn, but I think we go ahead and play our Debris, and we throw our Cerebro out as well. The Debris is going to put a 0 power here and here, and then we're going to, oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Debris makes it 3. Oh, in that case, we can't win. I guess we could do a Cerebro here and Cerebro here. I think we're going to hold it. We see what he plays. Most likely this ends in a retreat. Yeah, the Odin plays is huge as well. We're not going to be able to come back up over that Atlantis power. That is just phenomenal. The way that Odin now interacts with Wong, if you're not able to beat it, mind-blowing. It is amazing. Ooh. No, that's not going to work either. Oh, actually it could, right? Could we... No, it's gonna be too much of a gamble. We could try to Doctor Strange the Storm out of this lane. We would tie this location. No, we would lose this one by too much. There's no coming back from this one. There's no coming back from this one. We're gonna retreat when it's just one, without it getting too bad. And then I think to finish it off, we run a couple of the high roll games. Negative is the highest power. Was Storm played first? It was, but then even if we pulled it over, that's going to add another negative 18 here. So we come down to like negative 30. We do beat them here, but oh wait, no, Mr. Fantastic would have won. We would have had 2 power. Oh man, that was the play. We had a chance. I forgot Mr. Fantastic was out on the board. He would have pushed 2 power. We would have won the flooded location as long as Doctor Strange grabbed Storm. We would have won this lane. We would have won this lane. We should have let it play out. I wish I would have seen the. Can we get okay? Pilk. We'll try one more. We're trying for a peak game. We want a peak game. We want this list to operate in all of its glory. I think we had a chance to win that one. Had I seen it a little bit earlier, I absolutely would have gambled the extra cube on it. Oh, right. That's why you said Mr. Negative was the highest power card. Yep. Strange would have grabbed Mr. Negative, not... I forgot that we didn't. So yeah, we're going to do Uno Mas. We did get... I mean, Pilk, here it is. We get the peak game, but it's not the peak game we want. We don't have Cerebro. We don't have Mystique. We don't have Mr. Negative in our hand. Unfortunate. Only one card gets impacted. Only Storm gets the Mr. Negative, the peak treatment. I'm going to go ahead and play Hawkeye. We'll play Storm on turn 2 since we do have that one. Yeah, that one's going to be the play line. We can play it into the unknown because we're going to be able to change it before it actually reveals. That one's actually a good play line. I just wish we would have got a few more impactful cards hit. So like the Cerebro, that makes it almost an instant win as long as they don't have a counter. And so we'll do this one. We want this one to be a good one. Since this is a peak game, this may be our last one, or maybe we run one with the hard heavy counter list. Pilk isn't enjoying this peak so much. So we can do Juggernaut. We can do Juggernaut to push their card off. We can do Rhino to destroy Grand Central, depending on what we have in hand. Yeah, and then that lane should be ours regardless. Yeah, let's go with that, and then maybe we can even like fill up one of the lanes enough where we can pull one of the 3 power cards off the flooded location, and then Gambit's gonna make sure. Ooh, can they get a? No, they get a Rhino. They Rhino for us. The Ronin's not great. It got inverted, unfortunately. We could do a Debris. We could do a Rhino just to do it. If we fill this lane up enough, we can always use Doctor Strange. So as long as we have one other card here, we can do Doctor Strange. It'll pull 2 of the 3. And unless, I mean, if they have an Arnim Zola, they're gonna win the flooded location regardless. Snipe it. Oh, snipe it with Gambit would have been the play. The early Gambit, discard one of our cards because we weren't necessarily attached to any of them. You're right. Gambit is Ronin. That would have been the play. That would have like cinched in the win for us. I got to get back to work. Have a good one, TLSG and community. Thank you so much, Quinn, for being here and enjoying the lunch live stream. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you enjoyed the videos and have a great rest of your work day. We are going to jump back into work mode soon, but I do want to finish at least this one off. Now that we got the peak location, we feel a little bit better. Not as good as we possibly could, but let's go with the... Okay, bye. The Doctor Strange to pull... Oh my gosh. Other than sniping the Ronin, there's no way to win here, is there? I would do Debris Gambit, but since we don't have Cerebro, I think Brood's going to be a little bit more powerful. And then Cosmo is always a good boy. Cosmo is the bestest of boys. You hit Ronin, you win easy peasy. We might. We're gonna let it roll out. We're gonna let this one roll out. We did get the peak. It could be an Arnim Zola, and if so, we just have to hit the one on the right. We just have to hit the Ronin on the right. Actually, no, we win on the right. Yeah, because we discard one of our cards. That Ronin's only going to be 8 power. In Pilk, we're never doubting Pilk again. We are never doubting Pilk again. Oh my god. How are we sniping wins with this? Oh, it's the peak. It's the peak. And so with that win, I am going to go ahead and jump back over into work mode. I am glad that we got to run. I am glad that we got to run orb for a little while. Now you have to drink Pilk live on stream. I've never tried Pilk. It's exactly 50-50. Dare stay, hey, how's it going? I hope that you are having a great day. I hope that you didn't just jump in because we have no moss. We have extended it for about 25 minutes. We do need to end the stream, but it will be available on the live replay. So if you just jumped in, it was a lot of fun. We played a couple of different deck lists. So please, please call the deck Peak Enjoyer. I named it Orb because Pilk named it Reverse Cerebro 3 or C3 Bro. And so the reverse of bro is orb. I thought it was funny. Peak Enjoyer is a nice one as well. Nice 3-minute stream. It was awesome. I'm so glad that you enjoyed the stream, dare stay. I'm sorry that we are ending here. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for hanging out during the lunch live stream and just continuing to support the content and support me as a creator. Pilk, thank you for the craziness that this deck list was. It was a lot of fun to run. It gives me anxiety because there's so many play lines and there's so many chances to mess it up. But I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And anybody that's here that's not in the Discord, we do have a tier list vote going on. We have a community tier list that we're just voting on to kind of see how the hive mind works, where we end up placing cards overall. So if you're not in the Discord, go ahead and jump in there and make sure that you check that out. We do try to create a fun and accepting environment. So as always, this has been TLSG. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Later, guys.